Here's the Nanlite projection attachment for the Forza 60, and this is in the 36 degree. I have the Forza 60 right here. I've had it for a while, so I'm going to unbox this projector lens. And I also got the adjustable iris. That's an optional accessory. It's like $60, $70, kind of expensive, but let's open this up. Oh, I like their cases. I guess that's where all the money goes. This is about $300, this projection lens. And the Forza 60, at least the daylight one, I think that's also around $300, maybe less, depending on if there's sales. So the Forza 60, let me just open this up here. I've had for a while. I love these bags. Very good bags. So that's the Forza 60. Oh, I also have this other accessory. The Forza 60 has a proprietary mount. It's not a Bowens mount, so I had this adapter that adapts the Forza 60's mount to a standard Bowens, because I have a lot of Bowens accessories. So this does not come with the Forza. It's about $20 for the official one. Now what I saw in the reviews is that there should be room in this bag to fit the Forza 60. Yeah, it looks like there is some room in here, so I could migrate this into here, have it all in one bag. Well, maybe not all of the accessories. That might not hold everything. I'll see. So here is... This is like a gel holder, it looks like, and this is the gobo holder. And the gobo size, it's supposed to be a standard size, and there was also some controversy when this product was first released that these gobos weren't exactly the standard size, but Nanlite supposedly had corrected that. Let's take a gobo out here. It comes with four of these gobos. All right. And then the projector. Ooh, the projector lens is heavy. Got some weight to it. Cool. Oh, nuts. So it doesn't have any caps. I wish it had some caps to protect the lenses, because this is supposedly all glass in there, and I wouldn't want to get the glass scratched or damaged or any of that stuff. But so 36. I see online that a lot of people get the 19 degrees. So there's two options. There's a 19 degree beam and a 36 degree. I'm in smaller areas. I'm going to use this setup in smaller confined areas like inside homes and apartments. I think the 19 is better if it's for stage. So if you have a longer distance, then a 19 would be better, because the farther distance, and then you can get the farther away you put the light, the bigger the circle. But then if the light's really close, you need a bigger degree. Here it is set up. I was doing some tests with this, and there are things I like and things I already do not like about this projector lens. The thing I like is that it does work, and the 36 degrees for my usage, because I'm going to use it primarily in homes or apartments, really small spaces, so it's better to have a bigger circle, and that's all good. And it's very, very bright. I turned down the fan so it's not going to go to the max, but it works fine. The cons that I'm going to talk about that I haven't heard other people talk about yet is that the gobos here's the gobo holder, and the way this works up here is that this piece can extend or go skinnier to let in the gobos. So the gobos, it's just big enough for the gobo to go in, which is fine. But then since I got the iris attachment, which is this one. This is the iris attachment, or the accessory. Since I got this accessory, which is really cool, and I'll show you in a minute how this looks like when it's projected, you need to open this part up with a screw. I'll go in a little closer here. So see this opening right here? There's a screw here and a screw on the other side, and you have to unscrew it and widen this gap area where the gobos usually go. You have to widen it in order to fit the iris. And then once you fit in the iris accessory, you can't put a gobo in there if you wanted to. I don't know if you would ever want to do that, but if I wanted to do that, I can't do that anymore because there's not enough space. There's only space for the gobo or the iris, not both, with this extension. And then once you open it up, it's kind of a hassle to open it and close it because light does bleed out if you're just using the gobo. I'll just show you as an example here. I'll turn this on and I'll go as bright as I can. Let's go, just do 30. So there is some light coming out here. And when I put in the iris accessory, and I pop that in, it's fine because the iris covers everything, so there's not light bleeding out. But the gobo, there's a gap. Oh, that's the other thing. To take out the iris, I have to pull it out by the iris control. There's no other way to pop that out. I don't want to wear this little metal piece off if I keep doing this on and off again. But here's the gobo. Put the gobo in, and then there's that gap. So the light is leaking through, which is fine if it's not going to be a part of your shot. If it's out of the way, it's not bothering anybody, then this is fine. I guess I could live with it, and I probably am going to live with it like this. But if I wanted to control it, I'm going to have to flag it off, or I'm going to have to cover it some way. And this light does get hot. It's not as hot as the Source 4s get, because those aren't LEDs, or even the LED Source 4s, they get really hot. This one doesn't get as hot, except when you blast it all the way to 100%, and then you take the gobo out. I noticed that the gobo, like it's hot. The other problem with this gobo is that there's no alignment of your pieces. So once you slide it in there, you have to move it, take it out, move it, take it out, move it. What I'm gonna have to do is maybe tape it so that I know it's straight if I want it straight. So now let me flip the camera to the other side to show you what the projection looks like. Okay, so now I have it pointed at my messy couch there, and this is fully opened up. All of they're not barn doors, but these blades are all opened up, so that way you see the full circle, and you can see some fall off on the edges. You can kind of see my dog sleeping over there, and this isn't that far. This is just a regular living room, a house. So you can see how big the circle is when it's not even that far. I would say, oh, I'm less than 15 feet. And if I wanted to do something theatrical in a small space, that's the advantage of a 30 degree. So now I can try the focus here, and the focus is adjustable by literally moving the lens element here. Then let me screw the bottom. This is it's not a huge gap, but you can see the edges, how they get sharper. And I'm focusing the lens, and now it's a very harsh circle there. You have these blades here that you can cut the light and make shapes that are could be very small. And you just gotta play around with it to make the shape you want. You need a C-stand, a very strong, sturdy stand to hold this together. But now let me try the gobos. So I'll use this gobo here, which is a window, to emulate window shades. So I'll put the gobo in. And now the gobo needs to be focused. There we go. And that's what that looks like. But you can see it's not straight. The shades aren't straight, so I gotta take the gobo out and adjust it, and that's what I mean by it not being straight. But let me turn the intensity on, dim it down. That's pretty cool, right? And I have no way, the only way to make this light smaller or larger is to physically move this light closer or further away. And sometimes you can't do that, which is why I got the iris accessory. So let me take out this gobo. Now in this scenario, let's say I cannot move for whatever reason. I can't move the light. I can't move it closer to get the circle smaller. Having this iris now, I can adjust it, and this is what it does. It makes that circle. You know, it's like just like an iris, like a camera iris. Now that's pretty cool. You know those old time end of film effects where it shrinks down on the main characters and it says the end? You know, you could do that. And this is totally I mean, you could use this theatrically, you could have this as an effect, but you can't do this without the iris accessory. But then with the iris accessory, you can't use your gobos. At least not in this way. Maybe there's another way to do it. Maybe I could put the gobos on the front of the lens, but the front of the lens is where the gels go. Maybe that's what I could do. But I thought that for all these types of lights, the gobos have to be where the light is behind the lens, and then it projects it better. But that's the Nanlite Projector lens. It only works on the Forza 60 series, so it's the Forza 60 and the Forza 60B, which is bicolor. It's pretty awesome for having that theatrical light. I'm also gonna use this when I shoot interviews. I'm gonna use this as a background, not a kicker for the subject, but I'm gonna use this for a background light so I can put patterns on the back during interviews. That like cookies or different patterns to make the shots better to look at when I do interviews. But there you go. I think this is a good buy, $300, and then the light, depending on the 60 or 60B, you're looking at around $500 to $600 for this whole setup. And not bad, very small and portable. I don't think there's another product that exists in this size. I know Aperture is making something similar, but it's for much bigger lights, and they're way more expensive.